Foods to avoid when constipated, your ultimate guide. Hey everyone, if you're watching this, you're probably looking for some relief from that uncomfortable feeling. We're diving deep into a topic that's not always easy to talk about: constipation. It's something many people experience, but few discuss openly. Let's face it, nobody enjoys that feeling of being backed up. It can really put a damper on your day. It can make you uncomfortable, bloated, and just plain miserable. The discomfort can affect your mood and daily activities. The good news is that simple dietary changes can make a world of difference. Incorporating the right foods can help ease your symptoms. We're going to break down the top foods that could be contributing to your constipation, and more importantly, what you can eat instead to get things moving smoothly. Remember, this is practical advice, but always consult with your healthcare provider. If you're having persistent digestive issues, they can provide personalized recommendations. Now let's get you feeling lighter and right as rain. Stick around and we'll get through this together. Processed foods, the constipation culprit. These are the foods that sneak into our diets and wreak havoc on our digestive systems. Let's start with the usual suspects: processed foods. These are the convenient, quick-fix meals that we often turn to in our busy lives. We're talking about those packaged snacks, sugary cereals, and fast food meals that are often low in fiber. They might taste good, but they don't do your gut any favors. Fiber is like the superhero of your digestive system. It's essential for keeping everything running smoothly. It adds bulk to your stool and helps things move along smoothly. Without it, your digestive system can get sluggish. When you're constantly loading up on processed foods, you're essentially robbing your gut of the fiber it needs to function properly. This lack of fiber can cause a traffic jam in your intestines. This can lead to those dreaded constipation symptoms. You might feel bloated, uncomfortable, and even experience pain. Think about it like this. Imagine trying to flush a toilet with barely any water. It's a struggle, right? It's not going to end well, right? The waste just sits there, unable to move. The same principle applies to your digestive system. Without enough fiber, things just don't flow as they should. So what's the solution? How can we keep our digestive system happy and healthy? Swap out those processed goodies for whole, fiber-rich alternatives. It's a simple change that can make a big difference. Think fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. These foods are packed with the fiber your body needs. Your gut will thank you for it. Not only will you feel better, but your digestive system will work more efficiently. Red meat. Enjoy in moderation. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up red meat entirely, but it's important to consume it in moderation, especially when you're dealing with constipation. Red meat is higher in fat, and fat takes longer to digest. This can slow down your overall digestive process and contribute to that backed-up feeling. It's all about balance. If you're having a steak dinner, make sure to load up on fiber-rich sides like a big salad or some roasted vegetables. And on days when you're feeling a bit sluggish, consider opting for leaner protein sources like chicken, fish, or plant-based options. Your gut will appreciate the break. Dairy products, not always your friend. Dairy is another food group that can be a bit tricky for some people when it comes to constipation. While dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt are packed with nutrients, they can also cause bloating and constipation in some individuals. This is especially true for people who are lactose intolerant, meaning their bodies have trouble digesting lactose, the sugar found in milk. If you notice that dairy tends to back you up, you might want to experiment with reducing your intake or trying lactose-free alternatives. There are so many plant-based milk, cheese, and yogurt options available these days, so you don't have to miss out. Chapter 4. Fried foods, a recipe for digestive disaster. Let's be honest, we all indulge in fried foods from time to time. Whether it's crispy fries, golden fried chicken, or those irresistible onion rings, these foods are hard to resist. But if you're struggling with constipation, it's best to keep these greasy treats to a minimum. Consuming them regularly can make your digestive issues even worse. Fried foods are notoriously difficult to digest because they're high in fat and often cooked in oils that can be hard on your stomach. The high fat content slows down the digestive process. When your digestive system is working overtime to break down these heavy foods, it can slow down the entire process, leading to constipation. This can make you feel bloated and uncomfortable. Plus, fried foods are often lacking in fiber, which we already know is essential for keeping things moving along smoothly. Fiber helps to add bulk to your stool and promotes regular bowel movements. So, next time you're craving something crispy and satisfying, try baking or grilling your food instead of frying it. These methods use less oil and retain more nutrients. Your gut will thank you. Not only will you feel lighter, but your digestive system will function more efficiently, making you feel better overall. Chapter 5. Unripe bananas. A gut's worst nightmare. Here's a surprising one. Unripe bananas. While ripe bananas can actually help relieve constipation, their unripe counterparts can have the opposite effect. Unripe bananas contain a type of starch called resistant starch, which, as the name suggests, is resistant to digestion. This means it can sit in your gut for longer, potentially leading to bloating, gas, and yes, even constipation. So how do you know if a banana is ripe enough to eat? Look for bananas that are yellow with brown spots. These are sweeter and easier to digest. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can even try incorporating ripe bananas into smoothies or baking recipes for a healthy and delicious treat. Chapter 6. Caffeine. Stay hydrated. Don't worry, I'm not here to take away your morning coffee. Caffeine itself isn't necessarily the enemy when it comes to constipation, but it's important to be mindful of its potential effects. Caffeine is a diuretic, which means it can lead to dehydration if you're not careful. And when you're dehydrated, your body has a harder time passing stool, which can worsen constipation. The key here is to stay hydrated throughout the day, especially if you're a regular coffee or tea drinker. For every cup of caffeinated beverage you consume, make sure to drink a glass of water. This will help counteract the dehydrating effects of caffeine and keep your digestive system running smoothly. Chapter 7. Alcohol. Enjoy responsibly for your gut's sake. Similar to caffeine, alcohol can also dehydrate your body, which can contribute to constipation. When you drink alcohol, it interferes with your body's production of anti-diuretic hormone, or ADH, which is responsible for regulating fluid balance. This means you end up losing more fluids through urine, potentially leading to dehydration. And just like with caffeine, dehydration can make it harder for your body to pass stool, exacerbating constipation. So if you're dealing with constipation, it's best to limit your alcohol intake or avoid it altogether. Your gut will thank you for it. Now, it's important to note that gluten doesn't cause constipation in everyone, but for some people, particularly those with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, gluten can wreak havoc on their digestive system, leading to a range of symptoms, including constipation. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye, and it can be found in a surprising number of processed foods. If you suspect that gluten might be contributing to your constipation, it's worth talking to your doctor about getting tested for celiac disease or gluten sensitivity. And in the meantime, experimenting with a gluten-free diet could provide some relief. We've already talked about processed foods and fried foods, but fast food deserves its own category when it comes to constipation. Fast food is often a double whammy for your digestive system, as it's typically low in fiber and high in fat, salt, and sugar. This combination can slow down digestion, dehydrate your body, and contribute to constipation. Plus, many fast food meals are low in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, which are all essential for a healthy digestive system. So, if you're trying to get things moving, it's best to steer clear of the drive-thru. I know. Chocolate is the last thing you want to give up. But for some people, chocolate, particularly milk chocolate, can be a constipation trigger. Chocolate contains a compound called theobromine, which can slow down muscle contractions in the digestive tract. This can slow down the entire digestive process, potentially leading to constipation. Now, dark chocolate, on the other hand, is actually a good source of fiber and may even help relieve constipation. So, if you're a chocoholic, opt for dark chocolate with a high cocoa content, 70% or higher, and enjoy it in moderation. So there you have it, your ultimate guide to foods that might be contributing to your constipation. Remember, everyone's digestive system is different, so what causes constipation in one person might not affect another. The key is to listen to your body and pay attention to how different foods make you feel. If you're experiencing persistent constipation, don't hesitate to reach out to your healthcare provider. They can help you determine the underlying cause of your constipation and recommend the best course of treatment. Now go forth, make those dietary changes, and get ready to experience the joy of a happy, healthy gut.